Namaste to all of you. Hope you had a wonderful week. So today, we are continuing our interrogation of Bhagavad Gita. We are asking questions, life-changing questions to Bhagavad Gita. You can call it an interrogation or an excavation, trying to find nuggets of wisdom. Or you can also say it's a collective reflection. We sit together and reflect. Can we get something out of that reflection? We chose this text. There are many texts in the world, like the Bible, the Quran, or the philosophical writings of Plato, Aristotle, or the conversation that Socrates held 2,500 years ago. Or if we are coming to the Eastern tradition, Confucius, Lao Tzu, these were the people we interrogate or engage in a question and answer in search of wisdom. Or you can slip and shape your DNA and create very wise people in the future. Or you can put some chips in the brain and connect yourself with all the libraries in the world and collect wisdom. These things can happen in the future. Instead of chewing the dry words of Bhagavad Gita, effortlessly, you connect yourself with all the libraries in the world, or create a thinking machine and get wisdom. God alone knows what is in store for us in the future. But today, we made a choice. It's a risky choice. We may get nothing from Bhagavad Gita, and we may get everything that we seek. But this is a tried and tested text. Bhagavad Gita must be much tried. So many great people appeared on the world, studied, practiced, and then wrote commentaries. So it's a rich wisdom tradition. And we are not going to lose anything by spending a couple of hours in discussing the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. So let me put the whole thing in perspective. This is a conscious, deliberate choice that we have made. We are looking for wisdom to lead our life in this world as a light which we can follow, so that we can flourish in this life. A flourishing experience. An ecstatic experience. Life become an ecstatic journey as a result of this following the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. Or you can some people just sit under a tree like the Buddha, just going deep into themselves. And Buddha also gave us a lot of wisdom. So there are various ways of creating wisdom for life. So we have taken this particular path. So we continue our interrogation. We ask questions. And Bhagavad Gita can speak to you if you are alert and serious. So today I shall be reflecting on the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. As you know, Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters. There are a lot of repetitions. in the Bhagavad Gita and in this wisdom tradition, repetition is not a sin. It is a necessary practice. Because we are not just seeking a cognitive shift, we are seeking a behavioral change. So we look into Bhagavad Gita as a transformation. We have to transform ourselves in the process of studying Bhagavad Gita. It is not just some disturbance in the brain cells that we are seeking. As I told you in the very beginning, Bhagavad Gita is not it's not just giving you information. It has to give you transformation. At the end of the day, you feel that you had a fresh bath. You feel refreshed. You feel unclogged. You feel uncluttered. You feel your path is very clear. And you become a very spontaneous person. So please understand, this is how, with the seriousness, we approach Bhagavad Gita. So today, I am going to reflect upon the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is for Bhagavad Gita students. Those who are serious students of Bhagavad Gita, they must know what is the chapter we are discussing. Of course, you can, as I told you can interrogate the Bible, the Quran, Dharmapada, all those texts. Or also you can depend upon the scientific investigations for wisdom. They also can give you some wisdom. So let us not arrogate ourselves this kind of a thought that Bhagavad Gita is the only text in the world. As a humble student of Bhagavad Gita, I don't claim that. Bhagavad Gita is one of the texts in the world which is a process test of wisdom. It is a condensed wisdom of 7,000 years of experience, human experiences. That is what Bhagavad Gita is all about, the song of the Lord. Like a mother lullaby, and the child sleeps blissfully. Similarly, that does not mean when you study Bhagavad Gita, you sleep. Sleep is a metaphor. Sleep is that you are very calm and quiet and blissful without depending upon anything. That's the metaphor of sleep. So just as a mother singing in her own tune, the lullaby which puts the child to sleep, similarly, Bhagavad Gita gives you that tremendous experience, that great deep experience of soothing, calming, blissful experience as you live in this world, as you interact with the world. That's the most important. That's the importance of this chapter. As you interact with the world, you can keep that inner sanity, inner quietude, inner leisure, inner bliss, without losing that. So, avigambena yogena yujyate. This chapter says, by the reflection upon Bhagavad Gita, you will be able to avigamba yoga. Avigamba means disturbances, distress. Avigamba yoga. You are able to live with great tranquility, calmness, while you are interacting with the world. This is my standard phrase, I tell you. The spirituality is to be practiced and experienced while you are interacting with the world, struggling with your daily challenges and problems, physical challenges, psychological challenges, or worldly challenges, financial challenges. I must be able to keep my mind calm and cool. That is the main teaching of Bhagavad Gita. This I have been repeating again and again. There's something to go deep into your psyche, into your bones and marrows. Things have to be repeated again and again. Now what strikes me when you read the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what strikes you, first that strikes you is, Bhagavad Gita gives you some general advice. Let us see what are the general advice in 2-3 things. Because we as individuals live in a power structured, a world structured in terms of power, balance of power. In any relationship, who is favored by the balance of power? That's very, very important. For example, a family. A family, husband, wife, children, mother-in-law, father-in-law, servants, friends, enemies. In this, they all are playing power games. I to control you physically, emotionally, by my knowledge. In the family also it happens. There's a power struggle between husband and wife, isn't it? Most of the time, the wife wins, but she makes the husband feel that he has won. Is it not? In this power struggle? Most of the time the wife is winning, but she makes the husband feel that he is the winner. She is so shrewd. So there is a power struggle between husbands. So who is favored by who has got the balance of power in this equation? At the end of the day, when you take the balance sheet, in whose favor is the black ink false? So it's a power struggle. And talents are unequally distributed. Therefore, we find some people have got more power, some people less power. Between children and parents, there is a power game, isn't it? When the child cries, child says, Mommy, Dad, I want this. I want this particular gadget. And if you don't give, the child will cry. So about that problem, you just grant the child that. So children and parents have got a power game. So everywhere we find we are living in a grid of power. We are a part of that. So how to use power? That's very important. How do you use your power? You can use your power to dominate the other. In the process, when you use your power to dominate the other, you get a thing, not a person. I can move furniture and pieces. Furniture don't protest. So you should not reduce the other to the status of a thing, whereby you become the loser. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita's advice is, you have to use power, the balance of power that you enjoy. You have to use it with compassion. Compassionate use of power. So for that, Bhagavad Gita says, Kamaraga Vivarjidam Balam, the 18th chapter, the 10th chapter. Bala, power is to be used, Kamaraga Vivarjidam Balam. Bala means power. Kamaraga Vivarjidam means free from Kama and Raga. Then it has to be used compassionately. You have to persuade the other. You have to inspire the other. You have to motivate the other. Not use the sledgehammer to control the other. That way, you don't get the best out of the other. That is one piece of wonderful, very beautiful advice I see in the 18th chapter. Use your power, the balance of power that you enjoy in any relationship. If you happen to be in that place, sometimes you can be a victim of power also. Sometimes you are using power, master power. So it is a responsibility of the powerful to use power with a responsibility and compassion. That's what the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, Kamaraga Vivarjidam Balam. And in that use of power, there is the expression of divinity. God is there. The Brahman is there. Beauty is there. When the powerful uses power with responsibility and compassion. In Indian tradition, when you go, let's say you go to write an examination, you go and touch the feet of your grandmother. Isn't it Indian tradition? Or you are going to a wrestling match, or you are going to the gym to develop your muscles. There is a practice in Indian tradition. You go and touch the feet of your grandmother. Because grandmother has to grant you the power. But she herself is powerless, isn't it? She herself is powerless. But you go and touch her feet. Then she grants you the power. My point is, power is to be used with humility, compassion. Then it will benefit all. Otherwise, power can be very, very destructive. This is what the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says. Kamaraga vivarjidam balam. This has to go very deep into our mind. Otherwise, the world is a victim of the power play of the powerful people. As they say, when the two elephants fight, who is the sufferer? The grass underneath is. Isn't it? When two elephants fight, the sufferer is the grass underneath. When husband and wife fight, who is suffering? The children. Mama, don't fight with the dad. Dad, don't fight with the mama. Or maybe the cats and dogs. They are suffering. So therefore, power is to be used with the responsibility. I think this is a very serious advice given by the Bhagavad Gita. So, Kamaraga Vivarjidam. Another advice given by Bhagavad Gita, we all are motivated by desire or kama. That's a motivating force in us. If there is no kama, you don't do anything. Desire. Desire is the oil which inspires us to act and to discover ourselves, our own inner potential. But the desire can lead you to all kinds of problems. So how do we express our desire and fulfill our desire? What are the disciplines necessary to optimally fulfill our desire? Which is very important. So desire per se is not bad. Though most of the religions come down heavily on this desire. Don't have any desire. Desire is bad. Desire is evil. But that's not the standpoint of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is very practical. Bhagavad Gita agrees that we all have desire. Desire is that what motivates us. Desire has to be fulfilled. So, but what is the discipline necessary to fulfill your desire optimally in an interactive world? Bhagavan says altruistic desires. Make sure when you fulfill your desire, you include a few more people in that fulfillment. So when you fulfill your desire, it should not be at the expense of the other. You have to include the other. So that this is what they call win-win situation or positive sum gain. So desire has to become altruistic desire, not self-aggrandizing desire, but self-expressing desire. Altruism, which is very, very important. So Bhagavan says, Dharma viruddho bhudeshu kamosmi bharadarshava. God is there. Brahman is there. When your desires are not contradictory or contravening dharma. What is dharma? Altruism. What is altruism? Including the other, the interest of the other. These days they call it enlightened selfishness. Enlightened selfishness. Include the interest of the other. take some time. Think a little bit deeply. So, this is called altruistic ways of desire fulfillment. Dharma viruddho bhodeshu kamosmi paradarshaka. Krishna advises your desire fulfilling project should not contravene or go against the discipline of dharma. What is dharma is a question. Dharma is including the other. And the third is our relationship. We always live in a network of relationship. Without that we cannot live. So when you live in a network of relationship, we have to include the other. Inclusion is a very important principle. Coexistence, inclusion, empathy. All those values are very, very important. So Bhagavad Gita dwells upon these three aspects of our living. The power play, desire fulfillment, and relationships. We cannot get out of these relationships. The relationship can be with the people, with animals, with the trees. Isn't it? You are intimately related with the trees for your breathing, for your food. You have to relate with the trees, with animals, with the human beings. In all these relationships, what we practice is inclusion, not exclusion. So these are the three things. We can see the Bhagavad Gita gives us some preliminary advice in the 10th chapter. So, in the relationship, Bhagavan says, Aham Atma Gudagesha Sarva Bhudashayasthidaha. In this particular chapter, God says, Aham Atma, I am your deepermost self. Bhagavan does not leave you alone. He says, I am your deepermost self. And I live in all beings. That also is Bhagavad Gita. In the Western tradition, the self is an isolated self. Your self is different from the other person's self. But Bhagavad Gita's self is, I live, I am your deepermost self, and the same self lives in all beings. Sarva Bhudatma Bhudatma. Aham Atma Gudagesha. Sarva Bhudashayasthidaha. That is the source of love. Why? When we say you love your neighbor, by loving your neighbor, you are loving your own deepermost self. You are expressing your deepermost self. So these three things are very, very important. This is what strikes first when you read the 10th chapter. The 10th chapter is very, very important chapter. It gives you a totally different understanding what divinity is all about. Earlier we thought divinity is in the temple or the churches or the puja rooms, confined there or above the clouds. Now we are bringing divinity down into our daily life. God follows you like your shadow. So this 10th chapter is democratizing the concept of God. Democratize. Everybody can. In all situations, we can experience God. Another interesting thing in chapter is, Krishna says, Arjuna is Krishna's student, and Vyasa is the script. Vyasa is writing down whatever Krishna is saying. Vyasa is the script, poet. Arjuna is a student. Krishna is the teacher. Krishna says, oh Arjuna, you are the student, but I am in you. Through you, I am listening to myself. Look at that. It's a very interesting concept. Through you, I am listening to myself. And through me, I am teaching you. So the teacher, the student, and the script all are the same play of divinity or consciousness. It's a very soothing thought. I, as a teacher, You are a student. And the Vyasa has a script. So this understanding is very important. This is a holistic understanding. All the people, all the protagonists, in the protagonist and the antagonist, all the gonists, let us say. Whether you are a protagonist or antagonist or whichever corner you come from, these are all play of the same reality. That also is very interesting. So when as a teacher, when you teach the student, don't go on them as though in a very condescendingly. I am the teacher, you are the student. No, you are only helping the student to unfold his own potential. That's why the meaning of education. Educare. But a caring atmosphere is necessary. You are not putting information into the student. You are only invoking your innate potential or power. The student is as important as a teacher, Krishna says. So all the gonists, as a protagonist, antagonist, or whatever, these are all of them are the same consciousness, which is a very, very important. Whether you are a teacher, whether you are dealing a business deal, bring this understanding. The other person whom I am trying to hoodwink and sell my product, your customer, he also is the same God appearing in front of you. So don't try to hoodwink it. Don't try to some or other make him sell your product. Be honest with him. That way you can build an enduring relationship. Otherwise, the other person will be cheated and betrayed, and you don't have a long relationship with that person. So this understanding is very important. The other person who is sitting in front of me, whether he is my child, my spouse, my partner, or my customer, or my student, or my opponent, let us say. Even my opponent. I think Trump and Joe Biden should understand this, should read a little bit of Bhagavad Gita. When they engage in this debate, they should understand both are expressions of the same divinity, which will bring them some sanity in their discourse, in their debate. Unfortunately, we don't see that deeper awareness organizing their dialogue. So this is very, very important to build a peaceful and flourishing society. Otherwise, we will be going at each other's throat and playing a zero-sum game. So this is very, very important. Krishna says, Arjuna, you are me, and I am you. And that we connects us, the Vyasa, the script. He also is me. This gives you an idea of the play of consciousness. Everything is a play, the same consciousness. Appear as the teacher, the student, the protagonist, the antagonist. This is called meditation. This is called spirituality. Spirituality is not drinking some spirit every evening 6:30. That's not spirituality. Spirituality is this awareness that the one who sits in front of me is my own reflection, my own extension. Vibhuti. This chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti Yoga, the ability to see the other as my own extension. He may not agree with what I am saying. He may critique me, he may criticize me, he may disagree with me, or she may disagree with me. Even then, there is some invisible cord that connects us. Sutre Manigana Iva, like a thread which connects all the poles into a beautiful garment. Look at that. What a beautiful thought. I don't understand how we miss these thoughts in our life. If these thoughts, if it become part of our brain processes, our lifestyle, then there can be a lot of beauty and flourish in this world. Now, Bhagavad Gita talks about Dharma. Dharma is an overarching principle, discipline. What is Dharma? Let me dwell upon that a few minutes. What is Dharma? There are three factors in Dharma. There are various ways Dharma is described. There are three important characteristics of Dharma. One is Dharma should lead to human flourish. Dharma is a discipline, a way of life, as they say, the usual cliched definition of Dharma. Dharma is a discipline, a way of life, which leads to human flourish. That's an important thing. Prabhavam, they say. Prabhavam. It should lead to human flourish. What is human flourish? You must have a feeling, oh, I am growing, I am learning, I am at peace, I am not in pieces. That's called human flourish. An experience of growing, flourishing. Experience of being yourself. A self-abidance. That relaxed state. So that's very important. Dharma is a lifestyle, a discipline, a regime, a way of life by which I feel I am growing. I'm not growing just old. That we all are doing. You don't have to do anything about that. I am growing into a state of flourish. I am getting out of this physical coil. You forget your physical body. That's the meaning of flourish. You don't feel you have a body. The body is such a constriction on you. You feel you are flying out of the body. This is a metaphor. Don't think you will be literally flying out of the body. So some people say, Swamiji, yes, yesterday I flew out of the body and I was hovering over the body. That's not what I mean. It's a metaphor. It's an expression. You feel out of the body. You feel you have become a butterfly. So far you have been living like a worm. This is called human flourish. The Dharma, a way of life, whereby your body becomes very light, like a feather, and fit as a fiddle, as they say. Then you feel you are getting out of the body. Isn't it? That is called Dharma. That experience you must have. Otherwise, what is the point? Dharma should not become a burden for you. Dharma should be a liberating experience. So, that's one meaning, Prabhavam. I am quoting from Mahabharata because Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. The second characteristic of Dharma is a lifestyle which is called Dharyade, which is sustainable. Any program of discipline that you develop or practice should be sustainable. Suppose I give you, okay, you do yoga. You must be able to do it every day. You must feel to do it every day. If you don't feel to do every day yoga, well, first 1 week you did it, then you got some backache and some pain here and there, then you gave up doing yoga. That initial hurdle, initial difficulty you have to overcome. Then it becomes enjoyable. Initially there will be some problem. When you do yoga, you'll have body pain and all that. Or when you do meditation, you feel so bored and sleepy. But if you continue to do it, when you create a critical mass of energy in this, then it becomes an enjoyable experience, isn't it? Enjoyable experience. So therefore, whatever discipline you practice should be sustainable. Meaning, you should start enjoying it. That's the meaning of sustainability. It must create its own energy. It should not create any garbage outside. That's the problem with the modern idea of progress, isn't it? Modern idea of progress is not sustainable. It creates so much pollution, so much garbage. What you put in is more than what you get out. It's not sustainable. This development is not sustainable. The whole philosophy is not sustainable. The idea the more you consume, the happier you become. That is not sustainable. So, Dharma means a lifestyle, individual and collective, which is sustainable. Meaning it creates its own energy without creating garbage. The garbage is recycled continuously. Let me put it that way. That is called another characteristic of Dharma. The third characteristic of Dharma is ahimsa. So put these three words. Prabhavam, Dharana, ahimsa. Ahimsa I would translate as inclusion. Coexist. Inclusion. Ability to include, not exclude. Compassion and all that. So these are the three legs of Dharma, three characteristics of Dharma. First is progress, prabhava. Second is dharana, dharyade, sustainability. And the third is inclusion. Bhagavad Gita talks about in this 10th chapter. Now the 10th chapter begins with a question from Arjuna. Arjuna asked about 18 questions or maybe more than that in the Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita is a question answer session. You ask a question and the teacher responds and then you ask further questions. So Indian spirituality unfolds in terms of questions and answers. It is not that don't ask any question. That's not the Indian. Indian spirituality, the teacher provokes you to ask a question. That is a teacher's job. Teacher's job is not just to give answers. Teacher's job is to make you ask a question. And then you have to jointly explore for answers to those questions. So Krishna says something, Arjuna counter questions him. This is how it unfolds. So as Bhagavad Gita students, you are free to ask any kind of question. So don't hesitate in asking questions. So there are 18 or more questions Arjuna asked. So here he asked one question which is very, very pertinent. So you said the whole world is a play of consciousness. That's our defining sentence. The whole world is a play of consciousness. Here we have to take a position, what I call an ontological position, a leap of faith. What is the position? There are three arguments which is going on in the world today. One is the consciousness is a product of material or brain processes. I already told you that. That's one very powerful argument. And we all are conscious beings, so we are intrigued about what is this consciousness. We all are anybody unconscious in this? No, we all are conscious people. That is our fundamental abiding experience. I am a self-conscious entity. Isn't it? Nobody has got any doubt about that. And we are intrigued. What is this consciousness? Is it coming from food that I eat? Is it because the brain processes? Is it due to something else? Is it a gift for me from the heavens? Did God breathe the consciousness into me? Because this is my abiding experience that I am, you, I, all of us are conscious, self-conscious, not just conscious. Not only I am conscious of the world, please meditate on this. This is a very important statement. Don't just hear it and forget about it. Our fundamental abiding experience about which we have no doubt. What is that experience? I am a self-conscious entity. That's our experience. Which does not require any proof or anything. That's how we live. Which requires no evidence. It is self-evident. So we are intrigued, what is this consciousness? Actually, the modern science also is grappling with this problem. Finally, they have come to an idea of participatory world where conscious being experiencing and participating, creating worldly experiences, all that. So my question is, or your question should be, what is this consciousness that I am experiencing? Where is it coming from? So one idea the modern science says, consciousness is a product of evolution. The brain processes. It's a byproduct. That's one argument. You may take it or leave it. Another argument is, there is two entities called consciousness and matter, Purusha and Prakriti. Their interplay is the entire phenomenal world. Consciousness and matter. Consciousness riding on matter, or matter entrapping consciousness, create this experience of life. That's another way of putting it. But we, as the students of Vedanta or Bhagavad Gita, we have a different perspective. And I need your cooperation in this. We have to commit ourselves to some understanding, some wisdom. Our idea is that the entire material world that we experience objectively is a play of consciousness. It's a shadow play. It's a pretense. It's an expression like waves in the ocean. And you can argue about these three standpoints till the cows come home. Which is true. What is truth? The truth is that consciousness is a byproduct of material processes of evolution. Or there are consciousness and matter. Therefore, doesn't matter. Or is it that the whole world that I experience around me is a play of consciousness, a product of consciousness? Here I seek your indulgence. I am personally, or the Bhagavad Gita take the third standpoint. It's a play of consciousness. It's a dance of God. It is a spanda in consciousness. It's a wave in consciousness. If you accept this, because otherwise we will keep on arguing, and we reach nowhere. So therefore, we have to start from some fundamental assumptions, please, and then take the risk. Organize your life accordingly. So I take this, or I seek I request you, pray to you, take this standpoint and try to organize your life. Which Bhagavad Gita says. The consciousness is primary. The rest are all secondary. The rest are all play of consciousness. And where is consciousness? What is consciousness? That is me. That is my deepermost experience, because I am a self-conscious entity. I cannot objectively understand that. I can only subjectively experience that. I am conscious of myself. I am conscious of the world. That consciousness, which is self-evident, is me, is you. Here is where we need a leap of faith. Otherwise, you can keep arguing and arguing till the cows come home, as I say. Then you will sleep. If you need a transformative knowledge, we have to begin with this way. Everything is a play. Everything is a dance of Shiva. That will be my theme tomorrow's meditation. So that means that I am consciousness, there is no doubt. And about the world, the only knowledge I have is the world is a constant flux and flow. Everything is keep change. Now, meaning it's a bubble that arises in consciousness. Therefore, whatever I see in the world is manifestation of consciousness, or God, or Brahman, or bliss. Why not? Everything is a manifestation of the bliss. Everything is my own reflection. You can put it in different ways. Everything that I see it's not the logical conclusion. It's a logical conclusion. This is the standpoint we take. This is the standpoint Bhagavad Gita advocates us. What is the logical conclusion? Everything you see in the world is a play of consciousness. Is God with a different mask. Joseph Campbell, the great American thinker, he said, the hero with 1,000 masks. Hero is God, you. You with 1,000 masks. Of course, these days everybody is wearing masks, isn't it? We have our own mask. A hero with 1,000 masks, 1,000 faces. See, if that is the case, whatever I encounter in the world should give me the same joy as I am looking at my own face in different mirrors. Isn't it? Whichever mirror you look and you admire yourself and you feel so happy. Others may not be happy with looking at your face, but you are very happy looking at your face. I am yet to see a person who is not happy looking at his or her own face in the mirror. That gives you a lot of bliss. So, if this is the truth, what Bhagavan says, every phenomenal entity in the world, whether I look at the sky, I look around me, I look under the water, in the water, as the Veda says, peace in the heavens, peace in the ocean, peace in the farmstead, peace in the factories, peace in my heart, peace in the office spaces, peace in the bedrooms. The Veda says. That must be true. That must be true. Everywhere there is the presence of the Lord, God. I can see that. So Arjuna asked this question. This being the fact, this being the matter, let us say, then I must be able to see the face of God everywhere. Meaning, I must be able to enjoy the same bliss when I am interacting with the world. Why should I lose it? I must enjoy the Avigamba Yoga. Avigamba Yoga means I must be able to establish relationship without getting disturbed, without losing myself. Avigamba Yoga. So Arjuna asked this question. Katham vidyamaham yogin tvam sada parichindayanna keshu keshija bhaveshu chindyosi bhagavan. What are those phenomena in the world, seeing which I can see you? Where are your special manifestations? The 10th chapter gives you the special manifestation of the divine. And the 11th chapter says the whole universe is a manifestation of the divine. That's how Bhagavan goes slowly, very slow. 10th chapter gives, okay, look at here. For example, he says, look at the sun. See the sun. You can see me there, he says. Is it not true? Every day in the morning, if you are a truly spiritual person, you must start your day with looking at the sun. Not the sun peeps through the window. You shut the window and go to sleep again. That's what we are doing. The sun is a nuisance for us. Isn't it? The sun is a nuisance because I was sleeping. The whole night I didn't get sleep. And at the wee hours of the morning, I got good sleep. And the sun is disturbing my sleep. The Vedas says, the Bhagavad Gita says, look at the sun. Begin your day with a meditation upon the sun. Or the moon shining brilliantly in the sky. You can see me there. Sun. Or the stars. The star-studded sky. Begin from there. You can see me. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just open your eyes, look up, and feel my blessings. Isn't it? Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tasavidur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. So Krishna says, I am in that mantra also. Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tasavidur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. In that mantra, I receive. When you chant that mantra, you create such vibration which gives you the spiritual experience. Is it not? We are missing all these blessings because we are sitting like a question mark, buried in our own mental problems. If we open your eyes, you can see this divine beauty splashed and spread all over. Just look at the sun, look at the moon, look at the stars. Make a difference in your life. Those blessings is really available. You don't have to pop a pill to feel good. That's what we are doing. You don't have to do that. Just enjoy this beauty. Or look around you. Bhagavan says, this cool breeze that passes, which tousle your hair, which kisses at the back of your neck. Feel that. You can see, as somebody said, God came as a breeze in the evening breeze or a morning breeze. You need to have a poetic mind, a philosopher's mind to experience all this free blessing of God. The breeze. You can experience. Or the fire, the sacrificial fire. Agni Nile Purohidam Devasya Ritvidam Podaram Ratnadhadam. There is the sacrificial fire, rising up with his 7 tongues, blazing forth. Then you sit in front of that sacrificial fire and say, Indraya idam namam. Indraya idam swaha idam namam. When you do that, you are inspired. You are ready for the day. Is it not? You are ready for it. Instead of that, we are sitting and cribbing and crying and then just sit around them. So the breeze, the fire. Or go in onto the seashore and look at the vast ocean, the blue ocean. See, Krishna is blue, isn't it? Krishna's color is blue. God's color is blue. Look at the ocean and enjoy the beauty. Or the river, Ganga river. Go to the river and sit on the bank of the river and see the river slowly or fast flowing river. And see life as a river. You can see divinity there. Or look at the mountain peak, Everest, or the Mount Kailash, or the Rockies, mountain. Occasionally you go to the mountain. You can see me there. But what do? We go to the mountain, get into a hotel and sleep there. Isn't it? That's what we are doing. Go to the mountain, check into a hotel and sleep there. And after 2-3 days and eat food and restaurants and watch movies and then come back. You are not exploding yourself. You are not surrendering yourself in the mountain. To the mountain peaks. Tavaranam Himalayaha Bhagavan. Among the mountain, I am the. Among the mountain peaks, I am Meru, the Everest, or Mount Kailash. Enjoy. See your divinity. See your God. So Bhagavan gives 72 items like this in the world, picked up from the world. You see his extraordinary Vibhuti, extraordinary manifestation, extraordinary presence. Because we have an experience of awe and beauty when we look at that. At the very beginning I explained, God is that experience, that feeling of awe when you look at something. Or let us say Taj Mahal or the Great Wall of China or the pyramids. And also Bhagavan says, look at some of these animals, you can see me there. A cow, the piety of the cow. Look into the eyes of the cow. The beauty and the piety. God is there. God is manifesting through the eyes of the cow. Because when you look at a cow, good beef, isn't it? Beef, that's what you are thinking. Look at the cow. But look into the eyes of the cow. The compassion, the piety, the beauty. God is there. Or a stallion, a horse. Airavata, a horse. Uchai Savasameshwanam, Bhagavan says. Look at the stallion galloping. And the manes are all fluttering. And the muscles, flexing muscles. Don't you see God there? He says. Don't you see God there? In the galloping stallion. Or an elephant. Have you ever looked at an elephant? You know, its 8 ears flapping all the time, and the trunk twisting and shifting its position. And he's twinkling small eyes. What a beauty. What a beauty. You don't have to go near the elephant. From a distance, you watch. There is divinity there. So similarly, a lion. Look at a lion. These are all given in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. Look at a lion. A lion, very majestically. putting it paw very carefully, or pouncing on its prey. And after eating, resting blissfully, peacefully. All muscles start to relax. To control the use of power. Look at it. The Bhagavad said, Mrigendroham, I am that lion. You can see me there. He said, no, now how do you miss divinity? How do you miss beauty? It's all there. Or a flower, a jasmine or a rose or a lotus. Look at that. Don't pluck it and crush it and throw it out. Don't do that. Just look at it. You see your divinity. So wherever you look, Yatra manoyadi, wherever you look, you see the flowering beauty of God. This is what is called the play of consciousness. You cannot miss the divine. So the Bhagavad Gita gives about 72 items. 72. Or a banyan tree. Look at the banyan tree. A banyan tree with the tap roots, aerial roots, spread across how many square kilometers, has huge banyan trees. Sit under that, which is a reflection, which is a metaphor of the whole universe, this banyan tree. Don't sit under that. So, Bhagavan gives a lot of examples like that so that you can experience the divine. And he also says Gandharvaha, singers, great singers, like, sorry for saying that, Michael Jackson. This is the only name I know. Michael Jackson, Tom Jones, or here in India, you have great singers. You go just sit in front of them. Or Yeshudas, or the instrumentalist. When he plucks music, when he opens his mouth and brings out this mellifluous music, music is divine. Dancers, Gandharva, Chitraratha, you can see divinity. How can you miss the divine music? You can never miss the divine. He is everywhere. So, with that eye, when you look at, with this heart, when you look at the world, it's all a play. Even businessmen, Bhagavan says, leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Roosevelt, those great leaders, you can see divinity. Businessmen, like, let's say, Microsoft, or some other businessman. Because business people, you don't see divinity in them, isn't it? You think they are all exploiters and bloodsuckers. That's not true. That's not true. Billionaires, they are not bloodsuckers. They also eat only one chapati or maybe one piece of bread. All their money is put back in the business. So try to see divinity everywhere. So you require that. This will make your life very fulfilling, very inclusive, very exciting. Bring this vision into all your relationships. Make your life fulfilling, exciting, enjoyable. So divinity, God is not sitting behind the clouds somewhere. It is not only sitting in your heart. God is not just in your heart. God is everywhere. Divinity is everywhere. Enjoy it. And this way you can make your life so full. Thank you very much. That is the 10th chapter. And the next talk will be the last talk, and that chapter is called, I call it Samanvaya Yoga, putting everything together. Putting everything together, integral yoga, and that will be the next talk. And till such time, thank you very much. Tomorrow we will see a meditation upon Shiva, the dancing Shiva, the quiet Shiva. I call it the dance of the Shiva, dance of Shiva. Thank you once again. Hari Om.